WUSA 9 exclusive. Maryland regulators say they have not seen a case like this ever.
Yeah, so a Maryland home contractor swindled more than 40 area homeowners out of millions of dollars for home improvement jobs that he either never finished or didn't even start. That's according to a final order by the Maryland Attorney General Consumer Protection Division.
Our Larry Miller shares the heartbreaking stories of these homeowners and breaks down the case against Optimum Construction and its owner. It's our latest installment in his ongoing series, Calling Out the Contractor.
The evidence in this case is overwhelming. In nearly 300 pages of this civil case involving dozens of homeowners against Optimum Construction and its owner, Amr Elrahimy. Page after page tells the story of homeowners who gave Optimum Construction and its owner, Amr Elrahimy, thousands of dollars for home improvements that either never happened or were abandoned. Elrahimy and his attorney at the time declined to comment. But the final order against Elrahimy sided with the homeowners and said the level of deceit by Elrahimy is breathtaking in its scope. Testimony in the case revealed Elrahimy used consumers' money for his personal expenses, like pricey family vacations and expensive cars, like this $241,000 Mercedes-Benz. In court documents, Elrahimy generally denied all the allegations. But the final order for the lawsuit found Elrahimy committed at least 4,900 violations of the Maryland Consumer Protection Act and unlawfully retained more than $1.6 million of consumer monies.
Everything seemed like up on board.
When did you begin to notice signs of trouble?
Pretty quickly. It breaks my heart. It's hard to trust people.
Ching Lau and Richard Riss are just two of the 20 Maryland families who regulators say were the victims of fraud, deceptive and unfair trade practices by this man, Amr Elrahimy, and his company, Optimum Construction.
There was supposed to be like an island here.
Ching Lau had high hopes for his home improvement project that was slated to begin in the summer of 2022.
We were supposed to have the addition pull all the way out to I think here.
He and his wife Melanie planned to add new office space, redo their kitchen, add a master bedroom and bath. The price tag,
it was $245,000, and that was supposed to include everything.
Financing for the project was approved. Receipts show from March to July of 2022, the couple paid Optimum Construction more than $190,000 for their project. You signed the contract. When is work expected to begin?
It was supposed to begin in the summer. They were supposed to break ground in the summer.
And does anything ever happen?
No.
Hopeful, Lau thought the project would finally get underway after Elrahimy expanded his business, opening Optimum Interiors, complete with an official ribbon-cutting ceremony.
We thought that they were good. It always seemed like there was money coming in and that they were working. And so we made the mistake of believing in them.
Richard Rist has a similar story.
They began in September, about the third week of September of 2020.
Rist hired Optimum Construction to build a garage at his home in Montgomery County. Records show Rist paid Optimum Construction a $40,000 deposit and an additional $29,000 payment. But after weeks of waiting, he says there wasn't much to show for it.
Workers didn't show up regularly. They brought very small equipment that wasn't suited for the job. And so it was just taking a lot more time. And I was starting to say, I'm a little concerned because I was promised a 3-month time period. I'm not getting clear answers. I'm not getting straight answers. The subcontractor that's on site is not clear of what's going on and not giving answers.
A month later, he got an email.
They were stopping work due to the company not being able to stay in business. So when I was offered the opportunity to terminate the contract and basically do an accounting, I said, okay, no problem.
Riss said he couldn't get his money back from Optimum and had to hire another company to finish his project. He says he filed a complaint with the Maryland Home Improvement Commission and hired an attorney. But before he could have his day in court, Amr Elrahimy, Optimum Construction, filed for bankruptcy. In court documents related to the bankruptcy, Optimum Construction said due to cash flow problems following the COVID-19 pandemic, it was unable to complete services for which it had contracted and for which it accepted money from a number of homeowners. It went on to say Optimum Construction does not deny that it had accepted money on contracts for which it was ultimately unable to perform, but couldn't because of circumstances court documents say were completely beyond its control. We tried multiple times to reach out to Elrahimy, Optimum Construction.
Thank you for calling GPC Construction.
His business associates, family members, even a prior attorney for comment. But they either would not respond, were not authorized to respond, or declined to comment. We even went to several known addresses for Elrahimy and his businesses with no luck.
It wasn't until the bankruptcy that we understood the scope of how much was there. The bankruptcy, another 40 customers came forward saying, whoa, wait a minute, what's going on here?
We've never seen a situation this big in the history of our office.
Eric Friedman is the director of the Montgomery County Office of Consumer Protection.
As big a scammer as we have ever seen. I mean, there's just no question about it.
Friedman said he first learned of Elrahimy after complaints were filed with his office several years ago. And after 2 years of investigating, Friedman said he's still surprised by the number of homeowners both inside and outside of Montgomery County who lost money. When asked why it took so long for all of this to come together,
White-collar crime is a lot more difficult to find, to handle. It's harder to prove. It's more time-consuming.
Maryland's Consumer Protection Division ordered Elrahimy to pay more than $2 million in restitution, another $2.4 million in civil penalties, and another $123,000 for the cost to investigate and prosecute the matter. That totals out to more than $4.5 million. Timothy Mulligan is an attorney who worked on the case.
How concerning is that for you when you think about the amount of money that's involved in all of this?
It's very shameful and very unfortunate. He has no known assets in the U.S., so there's no way to satisfy any of these homeowners, unfortunately.
So basically it's just an award on paper that's worthless.
As of now, that's what it looks like, yeah.
We are supposed to get a island, actually.
That doesn't leave families like Lau feeling optimistic or give them closure. He's still paying on that $200,000 loan he took out for his home addition and has nothing to show for it.
Do you feel defeated?
There are definitely days, but I can't because I got kids.
Larry Miller, WUSA 9.
Wow.
Wow, that is
So much
devastating.
money lost.
Yeah, I mean, just the sheer amount of
Yeah.
it. $200,000
Yeah.
and nothing to show for it, and no chance really of getting that money back.
So you at home might be asking, where is Amr Elrahimy now? Well, investigators tell us he's likely residing outside of the country. Court documents say he transferred large sums of money to the United Arab Emirates.
So for everything that you need to know about hiring a contractor and how you can protect yourself before and during the process, check out Larry Miller's special streaming right now on WUSA 9 Plus. It's called Calling Out the Contractor, What You Need to Know. You'll find it scrolling at the bottom of the streaming app's home screen. So download WUSA 9 Plus on your TV, and you can watch all of this important reporting for free.